We're delighted that Strawmax are supporting Alphabetti Spaghetti, one of the best shows that we have. And in true Alpha style, here is a little bit more about this incredible straw pellet bedding. So the S, it saves time, it saves money, and it's sustainable. The T, it's time saving. The R stands for real straw. It's really comfortable, really fluffy, really soft, and really easy. The A, it's absorbent and available. W, waste not, it is 100% natural. M, money saving, maximize your pennies, minimize the muck heap. A follows on, it's affordable. X is for extra easy and extra economical. Who does not love any of those qualities? For more information, go to strawmax.co.uk.
Oh God, it's so exciting.
Happy Hail Bob Day.
It is a happy Hail Bob Day.
Hello.
The Curse of Diarm.
It's the best finishing score we've seen at 5-star level.
That was our elo coming into the competition.
Eventing Manager is back.
Best show that we have, Alphabetti Spaghetti.
Looking forward to seeing quality horses.
Still a great day for Ireland.
Thank you very much for coming on the show.
I mean, you're a bit of an eventing geek just like us.
And it's time to get on with the show.
But who is this Santa Vita? Why all this howling, this hysterical sorrow? What kind of goddess has lived among us? How will we ever get by without her? That, ladies and gentlemen, is it from a famous musical called Evita. And I think that section might not have been delivered by Antonio Banderas, but actually probably Jimmy Nail. However, you will capture the sentiment, I hope. A returning goddess, a queen among her people. We have a very special show lined up. We have Peter Spike Milligan, freshly married. We'll discuss that. We have, of course, Nicole Brown, another Khaleesi in the eventing podcast land. But on this particular show, we welcome back to Alphabetti Spaghetti and to the show, Jennifer Autry.
Hello.
Well done.
Good to be back.
Good to have you. Good to have you. Would you like me to deliver any more? I know you're a particularly big fan of musicals. I wouldn't think you would. I would have a Evita ready for you. That is right.
No, I wasn't expecting Evita. No, that was quite a special welcome back. Thanks, Dee.
Oh, what a circus! Oh, what a show! Argentina has gone to town over the death of an actress called Eva Perón. That's for free.
Jenny is actually blushing, listeners. If you could see her right now, she's blushing. I don't know if she's delighted.
I love Evita. I have a no singing rule on the podcast, but I would sing.
Although, in fairness, Dee, you're doing a seriously good job on it there.
Yeah,
thank you. I've really practiced. I actually cannot sing. I don't have a note in my head, but I love Evita. It's a strange thing. I've no time for other musicals. You know, Jenni and JK and lots of others in the eventing world are very big on their musicals. I wouldn't be now. I wouldn't be. But I don't know how Evita wriggled its way into my little brain as a child. And I've gotten big on it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's do this. It's the letter B.
I thought you were going to go into like The Greatest Showman then. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the moment we've been waiting for. You know that bit? I thought you were actually going to just dive straight on it.
Why don't you do it? Do it. Well, go on.
I mean, I came to the realization recently that my 3-year-old sings just like I do. And when I sing, he goes, no, mummy, stop. And like puts his hands out in a stop sign. So I'm not going to inflict that pain.
Okay, let's do this. It's the letter B. We're back. They're all back. Peter, you're home from the honeymoon. How are you doing?
Yeah, very good. Thank you very much, Dee. Yeah. Come home from paradise, back to Storm E, D, and F, or whatever. It feels like we're doing our own little Alphabetti version of the storms going through the UK at the moment. But floating on air and back to the grind.
You'd put up some nice pictures. You know, you had pictures on like in some kind of swing chair, which was in the sea. So all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty epic. It was quite tricky getting there because my poor wife Poor wife's
Where
got
was
a
it?
broken ankle.
Where was it?
The Maldives.
The Maldives.
It was
And,
amazing.
and sorry, what did you say there about your wife? She had a broken
She's
ankle.
got a broken ankle.
Go on.
I mean, she's achieved hero status for going through her entire wedding day with a broken ankle, honestly.
So the night before the wedding, she was out feeding the yearling and Shetland pony and jumped off a hay bale. Didn't see the wooden pallet underneath the hay because it was covered with loose hay, caught on the edge of it, turned her ankle over and was, in veterinary parlance, non-weight bearing lame night before the wedding. And so a lot of ice. Always love a bit of ice on a Saturday night of a 3-day, and some anti-inflammatories, which you're not allowed on a Saturday night of a 3-day. We got her to trot up all right on the day, and bless her, she got through the day really well.
I thought she did amazingly. I thought she did amazingly well. Like the fact that it's now broken.
Yeah,
I did ask.
Interestingly, being with heels on, she was more comfortable.
Oh.
A bit like putting wedges on your horse's front feet, takes a bit of pressure off.
That's what you get for marrying a vet. You get all the good sort of comparisons. I would say that I did ask if the X-ray machine got wheeled out the night before the wedding.
Not allowed to X-ray.
You're not allowed to X-ray?
Not allowed to X-ray people.
Oh, okay. All right.
So she had to go off to A&E on the day after the wedding.
Why is that?
Legally, I'm not allowed to X-ray people, only horses or animals.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Also, I always think it's nice to let people have a little peek behind the curtain at, people's, because you only really know. I suppose I only really knew one version of Peter, which was, the kind of lovable vet, the kind of foppish 4 weddings and a funeral character that you might find wandering around the English countryside in a wax jacket. However,
we're only on wedding number 2.
Where are we going with this?
Well, Jenny, I was dropping someone back to a residence frequently, basically where Spike lives, and had a little snoop around. And it is a palace.
Did you see the hot tub?
I saw the hot tub. I looked at it.
Did you get in the hot tub?
The hot tub is at the top of an area where they look down on all that they own. And honestly, you can't see the end. It's just like a film. It's like something out of a Western.
Like The Lion King, everything touches, all the light touches is theirs.
That's it. That's actually it. I just thought it was a cool thing to know, that actually, when you see him, you're kind of like wondering, he's gone home and cooking beans on the stove. He's not. He literally has an army of people providing for him.
I think if people look around me, I am in the 1970s.
Yeah.
So
he's stuck.
Well, we're not going to discuss it here, but we will in time. It was a fantastic wedding. And
how are you recovering from the wedding, Dee?
Yeah. Slowly, Jennifer. Slowly. It's been it took quite a toll on my body.
So people who had never met Dee before came up to me and wanted to know who this this very extravagant gentleman was that was dancing in a very extravagant way. And they likened him to 2 people. Do you think can you have a guess who the 2 likeys that Dee was likened to?
Josh Hartnett in Black Hawk Down.
That wasn't one of them. No.
Eddie Redmayne.
A boy can dream.
Eddie Redmayne.
No.
Oh, that actually.
Eddie Redmayne, actually.
That's actually a good guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Eddie Redmayne. Let me think.
2 people.
You'll never guess it.
I don't know that we're going to guess it.
One of them was Elvis Costello.
Have you seen my teeth?
And then, doesn't get much better because the other one was Austin Powers.
Austin Powers.
That's unkind.
It is unkind, Jenny, and it's only made worse by the fact that he used to call me the donkey out of Shrek. when I was at school.
I know. I was going to say that when he asked who, but I thought it was too
Thank you
mean.
for
I didn't say
thank
it.
you for not saying it. It is. It was quite
you were great fun, Dee. To be honest, I thought you were brilliant fun.
I think you're kind of forced to say that because your husband was responsible for some of the way that the whole night unfolded.
Well,
Probably,
actually,
yeah.
final thing on the wedding is that we got a bit of feedback when I got the bill for the bar. With, the lady who ran the bar said there was one gentleman who really enjoyed drinking whiskey, and I think drank pretty much a whole bottle of it. And I said, I think I probably know who that was. I think that was Oliver Brown, who drank a bottle of whiskey at my wedding.
I would say though, he is much better on whiskey than he would have been on even like 3 pints of beer. So we were grand.
Grand? There was a point, if we were going to bring up the bar and the woman and the whiskey, there was a point where, because obviously we've talked a lot in the past about that famous Blenheim party where Oliver got, made a show of me with the whiskey, and I ended up in a much worse state than he did. And, who knows what happened after that, but we won't be talking about it. But somewhere in the little recesses of Oliver Brown's mind, he wanted to try to recreate that Blenheim party. So at one point, which has been captured in the picture, I was sitting on the ground and he was pouring he was holding a glass of whiskey up to my mouth and putting it in. So that's an idea where that bar bill came from.
I would say you didn't look like you were complaining. And it was fairly fun. I realized, and luckily I felt okay at 3:00 in the morning as I was lying in bed thinking what a brilliant party it was, and literally twiddling my thumbs. I was practically buzzing, and I was like, what is wrong with me? Why can't I go to sleep? When I realized that the espresso martinis must have had quite an effect, because I did not sleep a wink. I was wide awake. I could have partied all night. They were great fun. Anyway, it was a cracking party, Spike. Congratulations. It was
Spike.
Congrats, Spike.
He mentioned the eventing podcast in his speech.
Yes, he did. I hollered highly listeners and was probably a little bit embarrassing. I was like that embarrassing guest at the wedding. But,
So was I.
You thought the speeches were being sent, sort of said directly to you, Dee.
I was just chatting back. to the people doing the speech. Sam was the MC, so I kind of got comfortable just conversing with Sam while he was trying to deliver. And every time Sam stood up, I would tap my glass, and everybody would look at Sam. So I had great fun with this. Anyway,
it was basically the most fun night I've had in years. I didn't realize I could still be that fun. That's what I was saying.
I hear you. Mr. Emily B, because it's the letter B, so we're doing a special price tonight. There was a huge amount of questions put into the Discord group, so thank you for that. We are going to work our way through them now. It's so Jenny, I presume you're aware, like the first time we did Alphabetti, I'm sure you were on and we were talking about, Badminton and Burley and Blenheim, and we were doing the eventing version.
How could I forget Alphabetti?
Now we're back and we're doing the it's the more fun version.
Yeah, we're doing the same thing again because we couldn't come up with any better idea.
Because it's the best idea we have and the best show we have, and most people agree on that.
The listeners love it, Jenny.
Know about that.
We love it.
Okay,
I'm going to get started.
Jenny, I'm here. Let's just do it.
Keep your ears open, because the person who asked the best question wins the Mr. Emily B award. And while that was just an award from me in the past, now it actually carries quite a big prize from Strawmax, isn't it, Nicole? It's huge.
Well, I mean, you'll get a few Strawmax goodies.
Or €500, I think they said.
No, there's no money. It's a few Strawmax goodies, but that's enough. I'll be honest. The last time we did the letter B, there was like badminton, Blenheim, Burley, Blair, Bramham, you name it. Boring.
Bees.
We eventing is full of bees, isn't it? We are going to have so much fun going outside.
Very bee forward.
Bees. Come on, Dee, hit us up. What's the first category?
Let's go. Come on.
Huge amount of questions. So Father David's put in some. We're just going to get started nice, and we're going to ease our way in. So the first one there that I'm interested in is, Rebecca's asked the same one. Breakfast. It's quite an interesting one. What's a standard breakfast? Like, I don't want your ideal one. I don't want your kind of, your best day one, where you've actually kind of, you thought, oh, I would love to have the time to do that breakfast every day that you do once a month.
You want
I'm thinking
the everyday. You want the everyday breakfast.
kind of like this morning or yesterday morning, but your standard. What's your approach to breakfast? Right. Jay.
Okay, I am a creature of habit. I have 2 pieces of toast with almond butter, and I'll have like some blueberries or something like that, like a little bit of fruit, and then of course coffee.
On your toast?
Oh no, just like in addition.
Oh.
No, almond butter on the toast, blueberries on the side. And I will say my recent discovery, which is delightful, and I would encourage everyone to partake if they're a fan of almond butter, is cinnamon almond butter. It's very good.
Do you not get cows in America?
I like
Have
almond
actual
butter. Well, I could drink that, but I like
tried almond butter.
She's right. Obviously nut
Have you
butter
not
is
had?
good.
I've not had.
Jenny.
Yeah.
I've never had nut
Is
butter.
that?
Jenny, don't engage with them. Do you know what I mean?
Does anybody else think nut butter sounds a bit dodgy?
No.
Almond butter is totally normal.
Sorry.
Of course.
I was going to say, Dee knows all about that. Dee probably has a whole pantry full of it, so it's right next to whatever you make the nut loaf out of.
Peanut butter. Oat butter.
I'm actually allergic to peanuts, so I can't have that. It's very interesting that I can have almonds.
While we're on the 2 slices of toast, because it is a question here that's important.
Mm-hmm.
What type of bread is the critical one there?
Oh gosh, this is where I reveal that I'm actually kind of a crunchy person. I like to eat sprouted whole wheat bread.
Sorry, say that again.
Sprouted whole wheat bread.
Sprouted whole wheat bread.
Have you ever had sprouted bread?
What is sprouted bread?
Is it slightly green?
No, it just means. Do you not have this in the UK and Ireland? I feel like it's quite common here.
We're all busily googling it, so we'll see.
Whole grain. Right, it's definitely comes up in Google anyway.
Well, that's because
What
it
kind
exists.
of bread? What kind of bread is sprouted bread?
It just means that the grains are all sprouted. Yeah.
It means they're allowed to germinate. Is that go moldy before being milled into flour?
No,
No.
it's just meant to be a bit easier to digest and all that.
Okay.
Jenny, you are so healthy. You have 2 slices of that.
I know. I am. See, this is what I'm revealing. I'm actually kind of a health nut, but I don't eat nut loaf.
Right.
That's taking it too far. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. You're definitely leading the pack on the old health kick. That would be standard everyday fare for you now. Sprouted whole wheat bread with some. Okay, right.
Yeah.
Do you have a drink?
Just coffee, and I'd have almond milk in it.
Yeah, Americano.
So no, we don't have cows. in America, Spike. Yeah.
No cows.
You have half and half cows. That's my favorite thing about America. Spike the vet. Follow that.
Yeah, mine would be a bit more. So it would either be 2 pieces of toast with butter and marmalade, or for a more naughty morning is a bowl of crunchy nut cornflakes.
You dirty, dirty boy.
I know it's bad, isn't it?
How dare you?
What type of bread, Peter?
Oh, what am I? It's that like the seeded granary made by, and it's got purple wrapper. I can't remember what company it is. Probably shouldn't do company, but
We're not.
yeah, like the healthy brown bread. It's not germinated or anything like that, but it's still
That sounds healthy enough. Yeah, that sounds healthy. Yeah.
Sounds like you're supporting your local baker as well.
No, sadly, no. That is true. I haven't.
If Warburtons want to sponsor the podcast, I'm all for it. But I'll be honest, we're not big enough. We can name all the brands of bread we like. It's fine.
I'm really surprised with you two. Usually, Nicole and Peter are really knocking down the door for food provenance and that kind of thing. I would just be keeping a little bit closer to home with that bread, knickers. Talk to me about your breakfast routine.
I would say this is one of my genuine faults and flaws. I am terrible at having a routine breakfast. I don't do it. I'm rushing. I'm trying to get Toby to nursery. I'm busy. I'm picking at something. Normally Toby's leftovers, and that is a terrible, terrible thing. But yeah, I'm terrible at that.
I'm the exact same.
Yeah. Having a child is the hardest thing to not
organize people. Organize like Denise has the same breakfast every day. Never misses.
So I have my breakfast when Percy's having his breakfast.
Yeah.
So he has toast as well.
I don't think it's fair to blame the small person. I think.
But he leaves the crusts, and I like the crusts.
I know.
That's normally my problem. I'd be better to just have some breakfast myself. I would say, though, do you want to hear something quite embarrassing? So I picked Toby up from nursery the other day, and the lady that sort of is in charge of his preschool bit said to me, "Oh, we were chatting this morning about asking all the kids what their mums and dads drink in a morning, as in like tea, coffee, that kind of thing." And I personally would be a tea drinker. Anyway, Toby pipes up and goes, "My mummy drinks wine." It's like
a champion.
No, I don't. I really don't. And I started to protest a little bit too much. But it was okay because one of Toby's little friends piped up and went, "Oh yeah, my mummy drinks gin." So I think we were fine.
Safety in numbers.
Sold you out.
Alcoholics together.
Mm-hmm.
Outed by a 3-year-old.
Yeah, I have to eat breakfast.
Yeah.
I'm bad. If I don't eat breakfast, then I'm hungry on the road by 11, and then I eat something that's not good for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I get hangry, and it's not good to get hangry.
I have one of those people in my life, so I see that and appreciate it. Not Rosa, but I would be more like Knickers. I actually don't really eat breakfast some days, and if I do eat breakfast, I eat a really big, extravagant breakfast. I kind of go like, "Oh, I'm going to make 2 eggs." Like this morning, I had nut butter as well, Jenny, on a kind of a fancy bread with avocado and eggs. You know, like an extravagant breakfast. And then I probably won't do that again now tomorrow. It'll be back to just coffee and one of those orange drinks, those vitamin C drinks that might, that I'm relying on Baraka to save me, which I think is a foolish way of looking at life. So yeah, I'd be saying Knickers. Very inconsistent.
I know I need to be better about it. I feel I'll try harder.
If you go into a hotel room, you're on your own. Do you have a favorite side of the bed that you'd sleep on, or would it bother you? Would you not notice?
Oh no,
you're not in.
Yeah,
have to be the same side.
On the same side of
Same
bed.
side.
Yeah. It
Jenny
would feel like it would feel wrong if I got into the wrong side of bed.
Okay, interesting. Spike?
Surely it's only if you get out the wrong side of the bed.
Oh, very clever. I wouldn't understand that now in the slightest. If I would just get in, I wouldn't have a side of the bed if I didn't have to.
Yeah, do you have your side when you're at home?
You have your side at home.
Yeah, I have my side at home, yeah.
Yeah, but
then you just throw caution to the wind whenever you're out and about.
I suppose I'm not, it doesn't bother me, if you know what I mean, one way or the other. I would just get in, and that I wouldn't be, some people talk about it as a quite a big thing. I see it coming up here quite a few times. Brains or brawn? What do you prefer?
Brains.
Brawn.
Brains or brawn? Peter,
what do you think I am? Yeah, I'm 50-50.
You are 50-50. Okay. Oh, this is a good one. Actually, this is a very good one, Nicole, and I want you to be honest. What's the last book you read?
So there is a bit of a joke going around at Echo Ratings. There was a February challenge whereby you got points if you did exercise, which Sam Watson obviously ran away with, listeners. But you also got points for reading a book. Now, I will be totally honest. I am a very, very fast reader. Like, I love reading, always have loved reading, but I can demolish a book very quickly. However, I can't cope with any kind of stress in a book or any kind of intensity in a TV program or anything like that. So my books tend to have like a half-naked man on the cover. I'm sure I've spoken about this on the podcast before. And they're like, two people.
You're a reader of smut. You like smut.
Smart, yeah, probably. It can be a bit steamy in places, but I just mean that two people fall in love. Two people fall in love and then they live happily ever after. And I know that that's how it's going to end. And I don't care because I don't have to think about it any more deeply. Anyway.
Nicole, have you seen the Friends episode where Joey finds Rachel's book? It's just totally...
No, I haven't. So I should go behind it.
Why don't you send Jenny the book that you're reading at the moment and let her read out the
why do I have to read it? I don't want to read it.
Just read it out loud, Jenny.
I felt guilted into like my terrible reading habits were really quite lowbrow and I really needed to up my game. So I'm actually reading a book called Wild Things, which my husband bought me because somebody recommended it to him. And it's about raising wild boys, basically. So that's what I'm reading. Yep.
Well, it's definitely a change from the last book. So we have kind of
that sounds like it's going in a better direction.
Yeah, very similar, potentially quite similar direction, Jenny, in that for like Echo-Rating's kind of team building exercises, we have these.
You read smut.
No, actually, I honestly didn't see it coming at all. I was like,
I can actually get everybody to read one of my books, Steve.
Yeah, well, I read the extract, which was plenty for me. But we do these kind of little feel-good February challenges where you have, exercise or running or reading or listening to audiobooks or whatever it may be, and you're in teams of two. And at 10 o'clock on a Monday morning, people give their weekly update. But it's only meant to be a bit of kind of casual, I went for a run over the weekend. Well done, Rosie. I listened to my book over the weekend. Well done, GP. And then Nicole arrives on one Monday morning and she's like, I read, and she gave the name of the book. And everybody logged on.
You made me. I hold my hands up and I know that I read complete rubbish. But it's easy and I don't have to think about it.
No one expected that level of what I can only describe as soft porn being discussed.
You can't say that.
A team building call at 10 a.m. on a Monday, which is just not the place for it. We'll come back to it. If anyone's interested, we will post a link to the book.
No, we won't.
It's got a half-naked man on the cover who's a bearded gentleman.
I'll be honest. I then got members of the Echo-Ratings team sending me pictures of various advertising campaigns going, this bloke looks like he was on the top of your book because he was modeling for like an equestrian brand. Anyway, I wouldn't be embarrassed, but I appreciate it is not perhaps the strongest part of my character.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. Just, I think it's important to own it. Peter, are you a reader over there?
I do enjoy reading, actually. And I always kind of feel as though if life is not too hectic, I know it isn't because I'm having the time to be able to read. I'll go to bed in the evening and I've still got the energy to read a couple of chapters of a book. And what I did love was being able to just chill in the sun and read a book whilst on honeymoon as well. So I like my reading. And my most recent book was book that I'd been trying to read for a long time, and I finally had the time to read it, which was Richard Osman's book, The Thursday Murder Club. And I've also just started the follow-up, which is his second book. And it was very good.
Well done. Jennifer, you are a reader, aren't you?
I am. So most recently, I read Once There Were Wolves, which I thought was very good. So I definitely recommend that. I'm also a big Sally Rooney fan. So I just recently read her Conversations with Friends. That's also quite good.
Well. What about her first one?
Well, that's my favorite.
That would be one.
And actually, I've lent it to someone, and now I have no idea where it is. But I actually love lending books to friends. And, that's kind of the point. You read something you like and then you pass it on. But I have
Agreed.
no idea what I did with it. Yeah.
Agreed. Sally Rooney, some woman, done great. We're very proud, of course, of anybody Irish who does well.
Of course.
So yeah, she's a hot topic around these her parts. Oh, interesting. Bedtime. Night owls, early birds. Spike.
Kind of both. I can function on not a huge amount of sleep, in fairness. Comes from being an intern working in Newmarket. We didn't get a lot of sleep there, and being on call. So I kind of function.
What? Go on.
I can function pretty well on both. So I think in preference, I'm better at, if I really want to focus on something, I'll get up early and do it. So I can get up early, but I can also do both. So yeah, no, I'm all right. I function on not a lot of sleep. Should work quite well with a 1-year-old.
Jenny, I'm going to guess you are an early bird.
Yeah. It's because I'm such a bad sleeper. I have to go to bed really early to try to get, a decent amount of sleep. So it's really more of a strategic decision. But yes, I would be an early bird.
Knickers, let me think. You're a morning person, Nicole. You're much more heavily weighted towards the morning than the evening.
I'm a massive early bird morning person. I can't cope with late nights. I mean, if I'm the only person that I know that used to ask their mum and dad, and I remember it really clearly when I must have been like 9 or 10 saying, can I go to bed yet? And they were like, no, you've got to stay up for a bit longer. And I'd be like, oh God, I've got to stay up for a bit longer. I love like an early bedtime. But I would say I've always been really good at getting up in the morning. And once I'm up, it's literally like somebody turns a switch on and I'm awake. But since having Toby, he has been not a great sleeper, as I'm sure we've spoken about on the show before. And therefore, I've become very protective of my sleep. And particularly early mornings. I had so many early mornings during lockdown in a caravan where we were up before 4 a.m. and it was just horrendous that actually now I don't like getting up really early. I'll do it very happily. And once I'm awake, I'm fine, but I don't like it anymore. But I am very cheerful in the morning. I'm very annoying. You know this, Dee. We used to rock up to very early morning meetings in Event Rider Masters days, and I'd be like, morning, Dee, how did you sleep? And he literally looked like he wants to go every time taking out.
I'm the opposite. I'm an evening person. Even now, I find I get up and live my life in the mornings, but I don't enjoy it, I suppose. But I like the nights. There's a really good question here that I think we could spend a long time on, but Nicole, I think you probably won't remember because you're younger than me, and I think Jenny won't know it because, as traveled as she is, I think it's actually probably unique to Britain thing. But there was, Spike, quite an interesting question put in about, in the Bees, talking about Blair and New Labour in the 96, I suppose, when he came to power.
Is it Tony Blair?
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping that it was just your age that was going to count out of this. But yes, as in Tony Blair rather than... Do you remember the 90s, Knickers, at all? In what, like...
Well, I was born in 1990. So I do remember the 90s. But like I do actually remember Tony Blair. I remember quite a few bits. But... my cousin got married and there was a picture of Tony Blair on the wall of the room that we were getting dressed in. And already I was obviously getting ready with all the other bridesmaids and the bride was there and everything else. And Tony Blair was there the whole time. And it was honestly the weirdest, creepiest thing.
Like just Tony Blair, like from the magazine?
Massive picture of Tony Blair's head on the wall in a bridal suite.
I think that's kind of why I think this question has come up, because I think it's like this whole thing captured. It was a weird old time in Britain. Like it was this whole culture thing. Like, do you remember like Oasis going to number 10? Do you remember that? Like where you had this kind of New Labour, things can only get better, post, I suppose, Major and the Tories, and you had this huge wave of something happened in Britain in the 90s. Euro 96 happened with Gascoigne and Shearer and Sheringham and the dentist chair and Gaza. I remember that whole thing. And then you'd Oasis. It was a magic time, I think. British pop culture. That was Austin Powers. The Spice
Magical
Girls. The Spice
time
Girls.
for music.
Even
Yeah.
music. You must remember all this, do you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do. He did some good things, didn't he? He came in, and I think he'll be remembered for certain things that he probably wouldn't want to be remembered for. But I mean, I don't know, all that stuff in the 90s. God, I was a teenager. I was probably worrying about things that weren't anything to do with politics at that time. So,
Yeah. Look, all the prime ministers I remembered for, like, they all fall on their sword eventually is the problem with them all. You know, like, none of them really go out on too much of a high. But even as a teenager, I think there was a special time in Britain in the 90s that captured this whole thing. Ireland didn't have it. Ireland was really poor in the 80s and really rich then in the 2000s. We didn't know ourselves. But we had this kind of little transitional period in the 90s where we were just warming up. We didn't have any of that fun. Anyway, Blair in the 90s. I actually think that's a great question. On another evening, I think I could spend a whole evening talking about that. Jenny Orr wants to know, brats. Were any of you brats as children?
I was perfect.
I was perfect.
I was annoyingly perfect too. Like, I was quite annoyingly nice and sweet. And
I was a brat.
We know.
Not at the beginning, in the middle, and then I became nice again. Okay.
What a nice redemption story. What a great
The story arc was perfect. Blood. Maureen wants to know. Maureen actually has a good section of questions somewhere that I need to find. She's uploaded them. Blood is one. How does it make you feel? Relevant. Peter won't care, I suppose, as a vet. Jenny, you good with blood? Could you fix someone if they cut themselves badly in front of you?
No, I'm fine with blood. Yeah, I'm one of the people where if I like slice my finger open, I'm not going to go to get
you
stitches.
Just get on with it. Nickers the same, yeah? You're good?
Don't mind blood. Yeah, don't mind blood. Are you
D
okay with
passes out.
blood, D?
Yeah, would D pass out?
Not in the slightest.
You sure?
I'd be... Sure, I remember the time recently my finger fell off.
Oh, God, okay, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
I
that
just held it
was
together.
an unfortunate series of events.
He is sharing his finger with the camera.
It looks
It's recovered
better.
a lot, hasn't it?
It does.
Yeah,
It looks about like it looked at Aachen,
finger
actually.
story?
Yeah.
Have you shared the finger story, D?
I don't know
'Cause I
if we
feel
want to
like
share the finger
otherwise
story. It's
I was climbing up on a fence to retrieve a football, and I know, Jenny, it's so sore, but Jenny's grimacing already. But I was climbing up on a fence to retrieve a football, and I retrieved it with one hand, and then I dropped down back to, like, I was probably maybe 8 foot up in the air, and I just dropped down, and on the way down, my wedding ring got stuck in the top of the fence, and the ring sliced through the finger. And
you degloved your finger.
yeah, they kept saying degloved in the ambulance.
Degloved is a good
word.
expression.
I don't like that word.
It's the worst word. They just kept saying it over. We have someone who's been degloved in room 4. I was like, oh my God, that made me feel a bit ill.
Richard Jones, the eventer, degloved, did the same injury at Bramham one year.
He did.
Yeah, he lost his whole
Jumped out of
finger,
his-
didn't he?
He jumped out of his lorry and caught his wedding ring on the latch of the door and degloved his finger. And then I think the horse was in the top 10. He couldn't show jump on the Sunday.
He had to withdraw.
God almighty. Jenny, I don't know if you have this in America, but bags for life. Do you? Do you know, if I was to say to you, have you got a bag for life? Would you know what I'm talking about?
No.
I love those
What
little
is it?
cultural differences that we have. A bag for life. Do you know, like, you used to have plastic bags if you went to a shopping centre? You have
Oh, so it's just a reusable bag.
It's a reusable.
Just a reusable bag, indeed.
Yeah, I suppose
Well,
that's
yeah,
all
like
it is.
you.
We could cut this conversation short. It's a reusable bag, but over in this part of the world, they became known as bags for life, and
okay.
that would be how they're commonly referred to. Have you got a bag for life? Yeah, just give us another one there. That'll be £2.70, please.
Yeah, honestly, we need to be better about that here in America. It's not as big of a push as it should be to get away from single-use plastics, but I won't get on that soapbox.
Well done, David Garnett. I am really enjoying. You are in the lead of the Emily B Award tonight. And
I
comes with that,
I thought Jenny was choosing the award.
she is. She's
Yeah.
keeping an eye on it, but I'm obviously keeping an eye as well because I can see
But
the
Dee's
questions.
offering his commentary, even though it will not be taken into account. So
Good.
carry on.
I need to let you know who's asking the questions. That was David Garnett. And I think it's a nice little one there, just captures something. Have any of you ever played bingo, like in a bingo hall properly? I mean, like actually gone to a bingo hall and played bingo?
No.
No, but I feel like I would probably enjoy it.
I'd say you'd be made for it. You'd be the host. You haven't, of
I'd love
course.
to host bingo.
Do you know any of the expressions? Like if 11 came out, what would you say?
No, I don't know any of the expressions.
Oh my God. Legs 11.
Legs 11.
Do you know any others?
Yeah, 2 fat ladies.
How much bingo have you played, Dee?
Well, kind of for a certain part of society, in a certain part of Ireland, we play it all the time. It's pretty big.
I'm going to give you a quiz, Dee. All right.
All right.
It's one that
I love a quiz. Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. No. You have to. I'm going to give you the expression. You
Right.
have to give me the number.
Okay.
I think this is right. Okay. Cup of tea. Goodness me. A flea.
3.
Yes.
3.
Okay. You do love bingo.
3.
Ready?
People didn't understand that.
Tom Mix chopsticks.
6.
Spot below.
6.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Are you
right.
sure you have to read them all out? I've never heard them all read out.
I think that's various versions of the same one. I don't think it's a line.
I don't think you need
You don't
read
have to
them
say all of
out.
that. You don't have to say all of them.
Oh, right. There's variations. Okay.
Yeah, you're reading the
Sorry,
whole
Got it. She's
Sorry,
got
I've
it.
got it. The pen has dropped. Okay.
I think there's going to be a quiz on Cockney rhyming slang, and Nicole will be brilliant. at that.
Sorry. Understood.
Cup
Okay.
of
So
tea,
it would
it's a
be-
flea, look at me.
okay. So that would be 3 ways of saying
It's
it.
a 3.
Understood.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like a little bit of added drama.
You'd be
That's
there
quite
all
annoying,
night, Nicole, with your approach.
The game never
understood.
ends.
Have you got
You
any
got
more?
that?
It's at the end of the
What
quiz.
about
Oh no, I can do some more. Sorry.
Yeah,
Okay. I
we
just
were
thought
ready.
I thought you were mocking me. I didn't realize. Okay. Right. Ready?
Well, we are, but
Royal salute.
We want to mock you more.
salute.
Well, salute.
Royal salute.
Royal salute. Royal salute. That's a good one.
AKA key to the door.
Royal salute.
4?
Key to the door. Number 4.
21.
21. Royal salute. 21.
Oh, see, this will get tricky once we get into double digits.
Okay. What is Old Ireland?
Old Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
Come on,
God,
Dee.
I wonder. Well, this is probably a
Probably
British
know
based one. Old
No, it's not.
Ireland.
If you don't
Old
get it, they're
Ireland.
going to evict you from the country. It's a lot of pressure.
Think St. Patrick's Day.
13.
The date of St. Patrick's Day. 17.
Yes.
Old Ireland, 17.
Yep.
That makes no sense.
A
Well-
monkey's cousin.
A monkey's?
Cousin.
A monkey's cousin. I love this stuff. Any help, Peter?
18?
A monkey's cousin.
No idea.
12.
A monkey's cousin. A baker's
Monkey
dozen.
cousin.
We would
is
have never
rhyming.
gotten that in a million years.
Rhyming slang for a dozen, apparently.
A monkey's cousin. Yeah, okay.
Who?
What's a
who made
baker's
love
cousin,
the
Nicole? Did you know that?
Isn't that 7?
Yeah, that's
no, 13.
No, it's
13, sorry.
13.
13.
It's
Yeah,
number
13. Okay.
Okay, anyway, the quiz is
The only,
over.
the only one I know is yours and mine.
Yours and mine. What's that one?
69.
Oh, for God's sake. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, that's an appropriate level of smut reintroduced into the podcast, which I've been trying to keep clean all evening. Very good. Well done, Peter. Okay, bingo. Anyway, none of you are into bingo. I think we'd actually all really enjoy bingo. I think, would this work? Jenny's shaking her head, but I think, would it work to do a live game of bingo on, like, remember we used to do Mad Stuff
With
in
Nicole
lockdown?
not saying the numbers, but has to read out what they're actually referred to.
She has to read out the full description.
Like
each time.
monkeys. Yeah.
A monkey's cousin.
I love
Old
this game.
Ireland and monkey's
my
cousin.
God.
And we'd have to
Okay, I actually would be up for that some evening. We could do it on StreamYard, Knickers.
I'm in.
Bingo.
Okay, bubbles. Let's discuss champagne,
Like fizz?
prosecco. Lots of thumbs up. Being honest, would you be able to tell the difference between all the levels of champagne or prosecco?
Jenny is again nodding her head for the video.
Yeah.
She is a
Yep.
pro. I can tell the difference between stuff, but I like what I like. Like, I wouldn't be I like something because I'm supposed to like it in theory because it's expensive in any way. But I do know what I like and don't like. I mean, it's a very, uncultured way of knowing what I like and don't like. It's just whether I like the taste or not.
What do you like?
My favourite champagne is Paul Roger. And I don't know whether it's because I just have some really fun memories attached to Paul Roger. I think that's probably it. But yeah, Paul, if you're listening and you want to sponsor the podcast, I'll do you a really good deal.
We could do that. We could do that deal.
I think I've just had so many fun times on it that I remember the happy memories.
I agree with that. You're kind of associated with the beginning of unbridled excitement. You know something wild is going to happen. I sometimes find that with the more dressed up I am, the more
Wild
off
you get.
the hook it's going to be.
Yeah.
And the more you want to drink fizz.
That fizz plus kind of, as Dickie Bow, that kind of stuff, something's going to happen here. You're into that stuff, Jenny, aren't you? Champagne, that would be an order for you in a restaurant.
Champagne for everyone. Yes, it would. The more champagne, the better.
Peter, you like it?
Yeah. Although
Of course he does. He's a classy man.
Yeah. Although I would be wary of it. I think you've got to be a little bit careful because I think, cheap champagne's pretty ropey and you end up overpaying for it versus sparkling wine from other. We had a sparkling English wine at the wedding. It was really nice. Chapel Down. It was very good.
I won't bring you down the conversation around Brexit and how suddenly in 2022 champagne has become cheap and English wine has become great. But oh no, for all those years before that, champagne, wasn't that the place to be?
So can I just put
good champagne is very good. Like
I know, you are right.
Yes, it is.
I agree with you in terms of the. It's not as good as champagne. Let's hold our horses there. I can be respectful of other countries, but I'm not going to allow you to compare yourself to champagne.
No, not at all. And for the record, I would be more of a Veuve Clicquot person than.
So can I? Oh, that's so upper class. Can I just put something out there, listeners? That if you are looking for a brilliant present for somebody, right? Somebody bought one for us, and I've since thought it was the best idea ever, and have done it for some other people. Somebody bought us a tin boxed bottle of Veuve Clicquot, but it has on it. It's like it has our house name. And it has how many kilometers, or you can do it in miles, basically our distance to where the champagne is made in France. And
that's lovely.
It makes an excellent gift. Excellent gift. Very nice.
Well,
Like you nearly got one for your wedding, but you didn't.
Knickers.
I should have done that actually. That sounded actually like you would have loved it.
But she didn't care enough to do it.
Yeah.
So.
No, we've got something else.
Do you know what I got him for his wedding? Knickers.
What did you get?
I don't think he'll know yet. But Peter, when you lay your little head down to sleep tonight, I want you or Camilla, depending on who got my one, to think of me.
It's not arrived yet, Dee, but I will very much look forward to resting my
Not
head
just
on your
once,
pillow.
but every night when you go to sleep.
Did you buy them a pillow?
Yeah, so did Sam. He got me the other one. We were going through the wedding list and we were like, what if we got him a pillow? And then we could actually text them every night, just making them think of us. It kind of feels like,
Somehow
even
I'm not
though it's a really
surprised at all.
nice,
Is it a good pillow? Is it like best sleep you'll ever have?
I mean, Knickers. It is from the top drawer of pillows. You know what I mean? It's a proper pillow, isn't it, Peter?
Well, I mean, it was it's one that I had previously chosen, and therefore that's why it was on the list. So yes, it will hopefully, when it arrives in 8 to 12 weeks, depending on COVID and all the other excuses you get for things not arriving when you want them to.
The couple are allowed to collect the gifts at their own leisure, is what the brochure says. I like this one. Tans has put this one in only today. Nicole or Jenny, if you're picking the €500 prize, Tans.
I love a tan. Love a fake tan.
What are you?
We know.
Are you high? The person's name is Tans, Tanz. How would we be talking about fake tans on the letter B?
No, there was somebody did
there are
put
no
fake
rules
tan
on
in
the
there.
show.
It could be bronzed.
Sorry,
Come under B for bronzed.
Nicole,
Bronze. There was
we can-
definitely David Garnett put one in about fake tan because I saw it and my ears pricked up.
This
because
person's
everybody knows
name
I
is
love-
Tans, Tanz.
Sorry, Tans. Okay, carry on. Continue. Fake bait, brown, partial to a tan. There we go. There was a tanning question in there.
All right,
Carry on.
look, we'll come back to Tans in a minute. So, let's deal with your one, fake bakes. You're a fan of a fake bake, aren't you?
I blimmin' love a fake tan. I'm so pale and pasty. I don't ever catch the sun. I'm terrible at it. That I have had various shades of nicely brown to like Oompa Loompa orange
Very
over
brown.
the years. I was actually on a call with you, Dee, the other night,
Yes.
and I said, "Oh, you sort of looked at me a bit funny," and I said, "Oh, I've got some fake tan. I'm mentally on for 3 hours." Anyway, I didn't think our call was going to be very long, but we got a bit carried away talking about some important stuff, and literally, sort of 5.5 hours later, so I was way over the tan deadline.
No.
I finished the call, but I thought it'd be fine. And Dee was very polite because he didn't say anything to me. And then I looked in the mirror and no word of a lie, I looked like a traffic cone. Luckily, I showered it off and it was absolutely fine. But it came up.
I was thinking, how much do I care about how much Nicole looks or how hard she works?
How much work she can do.
Yeah, and I figured, you know what? We're working remotely at the moment. She's not representing anybody publicly. I think let's let her go whatever color she wants because she is doing Trojan work.
Thanks, Dee. Appreciate the solidarity. But anyway, I love a fake tan. Listeners, if you need fake tan advice, I've probably tried them all. Hit me up and I'll sort you out.
I was in a hotel the other night and it was a fancy hotel. And actually, when I opened the bathroom cabinet, that'll give you an idea. The bathrooms had cabinets. There was actually a section of the hotel which said, these are the towels to use if you've applied fake tan while you're on your stay. Gave special towels for the fake tan people.
Wow.
Just thought we would. I've never done it. I did it once by using some kind of browning agent which was put into the moisturizer. Did you ever hear of those ones? Kind of a gradual tan.
Yeah, it's like a tinted moisturizer.
Tinted moisturizer, Jenny. I used that once when I was in school.
Mm-hmm. How'd that go for you?
It was an accident and it didn't have the effect that I worried that it would. You know, a boarding school and something like that happens, you worry that you're going to wake up, you know, with some kind of irreparable marking done, but not all good. It was very gradual, I'd say.
Crisis averted.
Yeah. Mini crisis.
Spike strikes me as a man who would appreciate a fake tan.
No fake tan from me. Just out in the sun, you know, working out on the outside. I get a suitable farmer's tan just from that.
Real tans, fake tans, no tans, Jenny?
I mean, I'm so pale that a fake tan looks odd on me, or maybe I just think it looks odd on myself, but it looks unnatural. I'm meant to be like this, translucent, I think. So I just need to lean into it. Yeah.
Lean into it.
I can tan, but it's a horrible, long, painful process. And it's just better not to go down that road, I found. So
And you'll be delighted
this
in
is
time,
it.
you know. You'll be delighted in time because you'll still have baby skin when you're old. You know, you'll still be child. You'll still have whatever,
Good skin.
wrinkle free.
That's my
yeah, I'm playing the
routine.
long game. I'm playing the long game. Yeah.
You'll really come into your own when we're all old and wrinkly.
Right. Yeah. That's the plan.
Right, back to tans then, as in
Sorry.
tans, okay? She's asked me a few here, but I quite like this one. What makes a perfect brunch? Now, this is a big question for me. You've got a little bit of time to think.
Are you not a massive fan of a bottomless brunch, Dee? Have we had this conversation before?
Wow, we definitely have. I'm a massive fan of
course.
alcohol in that section of the day. If you didn't have commitments in the later part of the day, like you were on a holiday or something like that, that kind of 11 to 2 period, I think, is a special time in the day for a little bit, not hard alcohol, just a little bit of alcohol, nice little bit of good quality food. I love it. I'm in that zone. Anybody coming with me to a good brunch? Anybody want to get the ball rolling?
I've never done a bottomless brunch, but I would totally be game. And I would personally go for something like pancakes.
I think we might be having, I'm just looking at Jenny's face, I think we might be having a cultural thing here as well, because you keep saying bottomless brunch and Jenny keeps, you're all right with that. It's not anything.
Bottomless means that you can drink as much as you like while you're having brunch.
She's wearing
That's very standard in America. Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. I thought there might have been another one of our English American.
I was going to say that just happens in the book.
No. Well, no, I was confused because Nicole said she'd never been to one, and I was expecting that she would have done. So,
no, I live in the countryside. We don't have many bottomless brunches around us.
I've actually never been to one. Would you believe? Like, I've never been in a restaurant for one. I've been in a restaurant and ordered as much stuff as I wanted, that kind of stuff, but I've never been in the you pay €50 and you drink all you want type situation. Peter.
What about you, Spike?
I would also say that I've never been to one, but I am a big fan of a brunch, particularly at a weekend. I think it's compulsory to have a Bloody Mary with it. And I would be a big fan of, I think you can go many ways. I do like a little bit of, like a crushed avocado with some chili flakes and a poached egg on some bread. That would be quite a good little one. Or love a bacon sandwich as well. So you can do a posher version of that. But it all has to go with a Bloody Mary.
Okay, I think Bloody Mary is an excellent shout as a starting point here.
When it comes to Bloody Marys, does everybody like there to be a lot of accoutrement added to your Bloody Mary? Like cheese, bacon.
Cheese and bacon.
Bloody Mary? In my Bloody Mary?
That's what we do. In America, it's very common. I mean, you can even get like a little mini cheeseburger in there. Like it's like a meal served on a stick in your Mary. It's a phenomenon, and I just wondered if you have that.
I mean,
they're absolutely disgusting animal pigs. What people are putting bacon?
I'm telling you, you're going to hear from the American listeners.
I'm going to say. I
mean, I don't know what our obesity rate is, but it's not great.
I'm going to say no to those accoutrements. I was thinking that you were talking about. A little bit of Tabasco or a little bit of Worcester sauce, or maybe, a stick of celery.
Yeah, celery beer. That's what we're having over here.
Yeah. Maybe a little lemon wedge. Like I'm not having a cheeseburger in my Bloody Mary.
Oh, no, that's
my God.
I'm not a fan of tomato.
I'll have to send you some pictures. It's very common here.
Celery is actually minus calories, would you believe?
Terrible stuff. I mean, I don't really like celery for that very reason.
But perfect in a Bloody Mary, Peter. Perfect in a Bloody Mary.
I would still eat it, but I like the
Bloody
flavour.
Mary, and it's good to stir. It's good to stir.
Good to stir.
Oh my God, guys! I've just Googled these Bloody Marys.
Are you Googling it? I'm telling you, it's like the restaurants try to one up each other. I know.
There's like eggs, there's waffles, there's olives. I mean, it looks quite frankly disgusting.
I'm not even Googling it.
Oh my God, there is literally like a cheeseburger with like some fried chicken on the side and some gherkins. Ooh. I'm not a fan of tomato juice, so I don't do a Bloody Mary anyway.
Now to be So full disclosure, I'm a purist when it comes to the Bloody Mary. I like maybe some celery. That's honestly pretty much it. I'm also happy for it not to have anything in it.
And Peter's just holding up
Yeah,
something. to
I
the
told
screen
you.
there.
I know.
That's mental.
Is that a
Absolutely.
pretzel? It's a pretzel?
Yeah, there's a pretzel.
Yeah.
And a cheeseburger, and yeah.
No.
It's how we do it in America. I told you.
But is that like, when you say you do it in America, is that like all of America does it that way, or is there a particularly crazy part of America that has decided that Bloody Marys should come like that?
I'd say it's probably all over. I honestly, most places, if you were going to go for a brunch, a bottomless brunch or just a normal brunch, a lot of places will let you add on things that you want to come with the Bloody Mary on the giant stick. So you can just literally pick things. Or the other great phenomenon in America is the Bloody Mary bar, where all of these things are set out in front of you. You'll actually mix your own and then add your own things into the glass and onto the stick. So it's like a choose your own adventure type situation. Key West is famous for Bloody Marys, and you can do essentially an entire Bloody Mary tour across Key West and build your own at a bunch of different places.
They're so different, aren't they, the countries? Like, what are they doing there in that case where they've got Bloody Mary, choose your own adventure? Like, ultimately...
a cheeseburger for brunch is not an unreasonable suggestion. But why does it have to be on a stick in my drink?
I don't have a good answer. I'm not saying
No, but there isn't a good answer. That's the truth, isn't it?
Do you think we do things that are so different to Americans?
I think you do things that are different.
What do we do, Jenni, that's weird for you?
Yeah, what would be weird, Jenni, that you've noticed about Britain or Ireland? I'd say Britain and Ireland, we're probably pretty similar. Obviously, Irish people are a little bit sounder, but as a general rule, we're pretty similar culturally. Is there things that we do that American people, because we definitely think the Americans do some wild stuff, whereas I presume it must work the other way too.
It does, but it's kind of been normalized to me now, so I don't know that I would think of that as being so odd. I'd have to think back to, I don't know, a very long time ago before I had so many Irish and British friends, and all seemed very odd to me, but now you don't, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Now I'm used to it.
Fair enough. Maybe we could get help if any of our American friends are in the Discord group. I'd actually be quite interested in this because, it's fascinating, this cultural, what would be the word?
I still find, like, when Americans talk about pants,
differences.
Pants in the UK.
Well, words, obviously those.
Words, knickers, but
No, but,
Well, pants. What are you worried about? Pants are trousers and pants are underpants. Is that what you're worried about in the corner?
No, but it just, like that, it never fails to just tickle me slightly. I need to go and buy some new pants. And then
sorry,
her American accent, buy some new pants.
No, I don't need to again.
Do it once more, please, because we'll get Rosie to clip it and repeat it otherwise. Just do it again.
Oh my God, I need to go and buy some new pants.
Oh God, you're brutal.
I don't even know. Like,
no one would say that. They're like the easy.
Yeah, they're the easy ones. Words are easy.
Yeah, the easy ones. Or like how we drive big cars in America and you drive smaller cars in the UK. And
you do drive big cars in America. Do we talk about the weather a ridiculous amount?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And do Americans don't, would you say? It's not that big a thing? Not as big a thing as here. We literally talk about it every day.
Not as much as you would obsess about it.
Alcohol?
Yeah.
Would we be more
you all
alcohol
obsess
on this
about it way more.
Yeah. Sport. Okay. They're both pretty sporty nations.
Well, when I'm drinking with you, D, yes.
Yeah. Well, I think you'd hold your own.
Just one more. Just one more. Just one more.
I think.
No, it's probably about the same.
Let me think. Sport, history.
Sports would be very different. Like here, obviously here, football means something completely different in America. That would be a big difference.
Yeah. Well, we're big fans. We're fans of the Denver Broncos in this house.
Excellent.
We've gotten into football this year.
People here wouldn't have heard of cricket. If you if I asked the average person what cricket was, they would have no idea. I mean, things like that. So sports would definitely be a big difference.
I think that's fair enough. That's fair enough. It's shocking. Peter is very into his cricket, aren't you, Peter?
Yeah, I like my cricket. I think the biggest thing that I'm conscious of with America is the massive, how college football is such a big thing. We have nothing that's comparable over here.
Huge.
We have no equivalent concept of anything that isn't high level professional sport. So yeah, college football is.
You've got the Oxford boat race.
Ah, Jesus!
You just don't have what the Americans do.
So the biggest American football stadiums are all college football stadiums.
Yeah,
it's bigger than the professional sport.
They do.
Some of them. I mean, maybe some are, but
yeah. What's the biggest capacity stadium in the US? Is a college football stadium, isn't it? 105,000 people.
I don't know.
Right, but they wouldn't all be necessarily. Yeah.
No, but
I mean, American football is a religion in the South, pretty much. Yeah.
I never really spent much time in America, but I would love to have gone there or have lived there somewhere. We were in Boston for like a weekend once, me and Sam. It was a fabulous place, just wild. I know anywhere if you go for a weekend is a bit different, but it's kind of, sometimes even when we go to those USEA conferences, Jenny, like you get to see another part of America. And like, you go somewhere like Florida where they've got like, I'm so wide-eyed. Jenny, how many times have you met me off a plane and I've been like, the next first time I went to Kentucky, like I was sitting in the bar talking to the person in the airport asking her for like Samuel Adams beer, like, or, Budweiser, the king of beers. Like,
what would the Americans ask for?
Yeah, I was like, so excited about the whole thing. It's a class country. Well, it's a fascinating place.
It's like when I went to Dublin and I ordered harp.
Oh, that was so funny. That still makes me laugh. Harp. Yeah, very funny. God, well, who would have thought Alphabetti would find its way down this particular rabbit hole? Okay. Keep going. We get through these last couple. I mean, honest to God, I have thousands.
I have one that's absolutely diabolical.
Well, don't say that. Go on.
Okay, Nat L says brownies. Do you start at the edge, or are you one of the people that just cuts a square from the middle of the tray?
Who would do that? Why would you cut a square out the middle of the tray?
Agree 100%. That is completely mental. You have to start at the edge.
I understand that the middle bit is perhaps the gooeyest and the squishiest and the squidgiest and everything else, but you can't just be cutting a thing out the middle.
I would agree with that. I have nothing more to add on that. I've never cooked brownies.
No further comments, but I can't remember the last time I cooked brownies. And
love to make chocolate brownies.
Right. All right. Well, very good. Bags, designer, high street, favorite, most expensive purchase. That comes from Maureen. Most expensive purchase, bags, or most expensive purchase? Anybody?
Don't think I've ever bought a bag other than the 10p bag I have to buy every time I go to the supermarket because I've never.
Every time. It's bag for life. Bag for life.
Bag for life.
He just has lots of lives and lots of bags.
Are you designer handbag ladies?
I would like a fairly nice handbag, but I'll be honest, I don't use a handbag since having Tobes very often. I have like a crossbody bag because I'm
crossbody bag.
Well,
like to put him in.
Resigned to mum life.
Like it's just then I've got hands free. Like it means I've got hands free. Yeah, it's just got a strap that goes across my body, but it means I'm hands-free to chase a small child, et cetera, et cetera. But to be honest, like I've not really been anywhere in the last couple of years, so my handbag's gathered dust. Jenni looks like she loved a bag, like all about the designer handbags.
Yeah.
But I don't buy them new. I'll buy them. There's a lot of great sites out there where you can buy them, someone's already had it before, but it still looks brand new and you can get it for less, so... That's my secret.
On the same topic then, brand. What's your favorite luxury brand? So this, I suppose, could be clothing, or it could be bags, or it could be, Tesco Finest if you're Peter Spike Milligan. It could be
Tesco
It
Finest.
could be I don't know what you're into. Brand. Let me think. I like all the sports brands, but of the brands
Lynx
that
body
are the
spray.
best
Yeah,
brand,
Lynx Africa.
the best brand in the world is COS. That's I'm going to go with COS. COS, COS. Cost you a pretty penny. But
Isn't
it
that
is
like
the
an
best.
island in Greece?
Yes, and Dee's favorite T-shirt brand, apparently.
Yeah, but loads of things have the same name, Peter. Come on.
I've never heard of it. I'm just old and
I haven't
It
either, in
wouldn't be-
fairness.
It wouldn't be for you. Jenny, you're
Not
excused
for
for
these.
geographical reasons. Peter, they would be targeting a different sector of
I would say
the
so.
market.
I reckon it'd be the sort of people that like wear shoes with no socks on. That sort of people.
Yeah, white runners. With no socks. Yeah,
That's not me.
It's exactly the type of people.
What
God,
brands do I like?
Let me guess. Barber.
I was gonna say.
Barber.
Listen to
I
you,
can put you in a box. Barber, Aston
No
Martin.
barber. Love a bit of shuffle.
Okay, we know what. Box
Yeah, I'm
you're
not
in.
really brand orientated like that. I have to say, I don't think I am. I like the finer thing. I do like the finer things in life, but that's sort of like
do.
food and wine and that sort of side of it. I don't think that's necessarily a brand.
Well, of course it is. But
It could be that you shop at Waitrose, Spike, for example.
Yeah, but I don't. I shop at Morrison's or I shop locally.
Knickers, you got anything? No.
I would love, I'm a firm believer in that you buy nice things and you buy them well, so you're smart about it. Like, nothing gives me more pleasure than buying something really expensive in the sale at a discount price. It gives me a lot of satisfaction. So I love quality, love that, but I don't like to pay full price for it, basically. But I would say, I'm very partial to sort of my wedding rings, engagement ring and eternity ring would be probably the nicest things that I have.
But are they a brand?
Are they a brand? What are you talking about?
No, but I
Why
just
are we
mean
doing
the
this?
nice things that I own.
Do you know what brands are?
She knows her favorite brand of baked beans. Does that count?
Yeah, Branston.
Branston.
Controversial,
The listeners
possibly,
know.
but Branston.
Brands.
What
I
brand
know.
are your wedding rings? Do you know?
I don't know. I'd have to go and look them up as to where I know where they came from, but I don't know if that's the brand.
But you understood the question immediately when it was
sorry,
framed
I
around
just-
when it was framed around beans. You were like quick as
She was like,
Quick as a flash.
boom.
I like nice things, but I wouldn't be a snob about it. If it cost me 20 quid or 200 quid, as long as I liked it, then I'm fine
Don't
about
worry,
it.
we know you're not a stomp. You've left us in no doubt. You're sitting there in your fake tan eating Branston beans. Like, none of us are worried that you're a snob, Nicholas.
Living the dream. Living the
Living
dream.
the dream, right there. Yeah. Okay. If I
wouldn't-
had a glass of champagne on the side, I'd be even happier. But
I wouldn't be a snob about it. I'm sitting at home waiting for things to go on sale. I've got my fake tan on. I'm eating my beans. I've got a crossbody bag.
yeah.
God,
No, there's
almighty.
lots of nice brands in the world that I would appreciate and shop. I like my shopping, so I'm big shopper, big fan of shopping.
Good brand, Strawmax.
It's
Very good
great
brand, very solid
Great
brand. Dee, can we
Good brand,
or Jenni,
good
can we pick
brand.
the winner of who is the Strawmax winner of the episode that wins some goodies?
Personally, I think you should give it to Tans after going down such a different route. But you can give it to whoever you want, but I personally think for you starting to talk about your home baked thing, what's it called?
Fake
Bread?
tan,
Yeah, but no, the baked thing. Oh,
baked
of course.
beans, my baked beans.
Oh my,
Ben,
oh my
my
God,
Branston's
stop.
baked beans. Maybe they could
Stop
sponsor the
talking
pod.
about-
They could sponsor.
Hot bake. What was it called when you're a fake tan? You said baked. Oh, well, it
Beans?
doesn't matter. Stop talking about beans, lads. Oh my God. Why
I
is
don't know
everyone
what
talking
you're on
about?
about. I don't.
Oh, a fake bake. That's what I was trying to think. Fake bake.
Okay.
You got there in the end. Good job.
Yeah, with literally zero help from you.
Wow. You weren't
Okay,
giving
come on.
us a lot of
Let's
guidance.
all get out here. Let's imagine, right? We're on stage and we've just realized that the front part of the house is burning. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to kick in the emergency exit, and we're going to slide down the pole and out of here. because this has been an absolute, just imagine it. I'm kicking the door. You're jumping onto the slide. We're out of here. Guess what? We'll be better for the letter C. We'll be better for the letter C. We'll be back and we'll be better. Strawmax, thanks a million. Everybody, say goodbye. Knickers.
Goodbye.
Jenny, great to have you back.
Bye.
Peter.
Goodbye.
This is so weird. Bye, everyone. Jesus. Get us out, Knickers.
Thank you for listening to the Eppa Ratings Eventing podcast.
Have a wonderful day, everybody. And I look forward to having you back with us soon.
Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more.
Listeners, we'll speak to you again soon.